Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we are, before I buy it, which obviously I'm gonna be buying it, I'm gonna bust out the prelude to the Ghostwire. So, yeah, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get it started. Here we go. Unable to shake the idea that monsters are all around him, Ryota navigates on his phone to a document called The Vanishing. The language is complicated, but he works to understand it. It says, I got a tip on a missing woman from when you've been a detective as long as I have, you tend to build up a big network of contacts. The story my contact told me was that they saw the woman one day when the fog rolled in. It blanketed the area, and then poof, she was gone. Times like these make me wish a certain somebody was around. Come to think of it, the fog and these disappearances set the scene for when I first met the rest of my crew. Everybody kept talking about folks just up and disappearing, and I thought it was a load of horseshit. Wasn't until I met them and until my encounter that I believed. Ever since then, I've been haunted by what I would have once called hallucinations. Turns out being able to see spirits and monsters isn't fantasy movie nonsense after all. Guess I should be thankful, because otherwise I wouldn't have seen through the monsters taking in the form of the woman. She made a bunch of red orbs appear that chased me around, but I knew so long as I didn't let myself get surrounded, I'd be okay. She was a nightmare to look at, but I put her out of her misery. When I searched the scene, I spotted a woman's handbag, found the missing lady's ID in there. Then I came across some clothes that looked like they would have been hers. They were in a little pile, but the way they had fallen made it clear that her body just vanished. No mistaking whose handiwork it was either. I finally managed to get my hands on a solid enough lead to work with. And one more. Could monsters really live among us? These case files say that yes, they absolutely can and do, according to this one. A lady called me about a missing person who vanished from the bathroom of her apartment. Usually I'd brush it off as another runaway, but after seeing the crows circling above her apartment, I had the feeling there'd be more to this. The black stains on the front door verified my hunch. It turns out that I'm the only one that can see these black stains. The lady who lived there and showed me in made no signs of noticing it. She showed me the bathtub and gave me the play-by-play of what happened. Her boyfriend was taking a bath longer than usual, and so she went to the bathroom to check in on him. When she opened the door, her boyfriend was gone, and for a short instant, there was a reflection of an old shrine on the surface of the bathwater. I rubbed my fingers on the rim of the bathtub, and there was a transparent, sticky slime-like substance on it. A reflection of a shrine shone on the water surface. I need to talk further with my team about this incident to see if these things ring any bells. I purged the black stain on the front door and then left the scene. Poor lady. What will she do now? What can any of us do? Oh, one more, I guess. In these posts, the kid had found something, or rather someone called KK. Has been looking into monsters in this part of town, a believer, just like Ryota. Social media would never lie. That means KK is an expert, maybe the expert in all things paranormal. The only one thing left to do, having pored over every story, post, and grainy photo about local monsters he could find, Ryota prepares to take action. I'm gonna ask this KK guy to help. Just gotta figure out where he lives first. Alright? Oh, are you doing it? Dear Mr. Investigator Person. Alright, here we go. Rinko. Dear Mr. Investigator Person. Hello, how are you? I'm not I am not good and I need your help. Monster's got my best friend. Rinko sits up in her chair. She's zeroed in on one of a dozen monitors from across the makeshift command center stuffed into the cramped Tokyo apartment. It happened near the manhole. Please help me get him back. Data flies across the screen seemingly too much. Charts and graphs, maps and mathematical equations. Even social media feeds are open case files. Jesus. Somehow, through all of these screens and all of the clutter, Ryota's message catches Rinko's eye. Holy shit. Sounds desperate, but it could just be some bored kid trolling us. Calm and confident, Rinko insists on balancing comparisons with skepticism in her. Uh, oh, Jesus, I'm having a brain fart. On the other hand, that manhole is within the vicinity of several recent incidences. Maybe he is involved. She knows what she thinks, but she also knows no one can protect Tokyo all by themselves. Trusting your teammates is the only way to keep everyone safe. Jesus fucking Christ. What do you make of it, Ed? Ed squints and takes a single deep breath as he turns to the screen. He has something to say, but holds it back. Technology is easy. People are hard. Instead of speaking up, he places a small recorder on his desk. He presses play, and as the audio begins to roll, Ed turns and walks away. I've heard intriguing stories about so-called manhole girls in Japan. Vengeful ghosts of bullied students said to trick other children into following them into the sewers, from where they never return. Oh, Jesus. If any information turns up about such anomalies, I can't fucking say that, I'd be keen to investigate. Though I speak purely out of personal interest, it might not be enough to make the rest of my team pursue it without further evidence. Okay, safe to say since you somehow found the time to record something this specific about a single urban legend that you want to look into it. Ed is already engrossed in other work. He doesn't respond. He certainly doesn't notice when Rinko rolls her eyes. He really does. Probably best we have no idea how you spend your free time, huh, Ed? Erica's been sitting next to Rinko the entire time, listening and waiting for the right time to chime in. That time is... Want me to check it out? I don't think so, Erica. Could be dangerous. What if something happens to you? Seriously? You still don't trust me to go out by myself for 5 minutes in the middle of the day? At just 16 years old, Rinko might be right not to trust Erica on something dangerous. But Rinko knows that Erica has shown a maturity beyond her years. She gives Erica an almost sisterly look of skepticism. You know it's not that. Rinko quickly turns back to her monitors and away from Erica. But for all her maturity, Erica can't quite keep from pouting. Stop making that face. Besides, we've got our very own private detective in the vicinity already. I'll have him take a look. Oh, Jesus Christ. The stall is brimming as a wide array of customers eat and Relative silence. The only sound they make is the slurping from their noodles. Silence breaks when a phone begins to vibrate upon the countertop. The owner ignores it, choosing to focus on his meal instead. The phone doesn't care about his hunger and continues to vibrate. The phone wins. The peace and solitude has shattered. This is no way to enjoy noodles. God damn it. The silent diner finally glances at the screen. He begins to mutter to himself. Another case? These people have me working harder than my enemies ever did. Can't even get 5 minutes to enjoy a nice quiet lunch. Let me guess, I'll be risking life and limb. That's why you let it ring for so long? Too scared to pick it up? Ha! You know the exact day I stopped being scared of anything. The day you stopped being a loner and hooked up with us so we could have your back. Sure, that works. Besides, I'm not full enough to pretend this team isn't half okay. Wow, dude. Okay. If you need backup, you know I'll be there. No questions asked. I actually already volunteered, but right now there's nothing dangerous to be worried about. It's a simple check-in on a report of some suspicious activities that might be connected to these phenomena we've been looking into. It's always been the simple cases that go south the fastest. You know what? You're right. Maybe Erica should run point on this. Sure, she's just a kid, but you're busy, so... Whoa, hold up. Let's not sacrifice the rookie to make me look bad. I'm already out. Send me the info, and I'll get on it. First, though, I need to talk to one of you about something. Who do we pick? Renko. Hey, Renko. Let me guess, pissed I interrupted your precious solitary Saba time, guy. Irked, not pissed. I was almost done. God forbid the report of vengeful spirits abducting children interrupt the same bowl of noodles you've had 1,000 times. Not much left in this world we love. When I think of something else, I'll tell you. You won't have a chance to add to the list if we don't figure this out. We both know how powerful the forces we're dealing with really are. We have to keep pulling these threads until we've unraveled the whole damn thing. No thread is too small. Guess I can't argue with that. Yes. I know I can rely on you. It might be the only thing I know for certain. Now go prove how smart I am, dumbass. It's the job I was born to do. I don't know why I gave him that voice. Ryota doesn't notice the people passing him on the street. They don't notice him either. He is young, but he is very much alone. His focus is centered on the small bit of paper in his hand. Lemonade. After a couple folds, the paper finds a familiar configuration. Oh, that's neat. With head, arms, and bodies, it takes shape. A palm-sized person stands in his hand. As Ryota inspects his creation, someone who has been observing him from afar steps out of the shadows. What have you got there? Ryota looks up. He is nervous, but clutches the paper doll in his hand to stay brave. He is not running or hiding, despite the gruff stranger staring at him. No need to be afraid. I'm not here to do anything bad to you or your little friend. Gotta admit, I've been known to carry an odd paper doll with me on investigations. Strange habit, I know. But you get the benefit of a partner without the annoying small talk. Ryota's shoulders ease. He lets his guard down as he listens to the detective and re-examines the folded paper. The detective surprises himself with his playful tone. He's rusty, but he somehow still feels comfortable talking to this scared kid. Sometimes Paper dolls are used for magical purposes. You a sorcerer by chance? Now's the time to tell me. So you really are him, huh? Gonna have to be more specific yet. You're KK, the ghost hunter from the files. You must be. I just thought you'd be taller. They say you solve strange mysteries. Right? KK? Maybe. The detective looks closely at Ryota's phone. He sees the social media post featuring photos of various case files he's worked on, collected in one place. Look, I only used those initials, because writing out my name is a pain. And I got too much muscle pain. Too much pain already, Jesus. Not your problem, right? Anyhow, that's me, KK. But I'm not a ghost hunter, I'm a detective. KK's demeanor hardened a bit, dropping the playfulness. You want an investigator, kid? Well, you got one. I'm so glad that you're going to look into disappearances at the manholes. Here's the thing, I already did. Made some calls on the way here. There's no record of any recent disappearances. Still got a few friends on the force, so I can dig up dirt quick. KK shoots Ryota a serious look. Not trying to pull a fast one on me, are you, kid? It's true. Honest. My buddy disappeared. He hasn't come home since yesterday. Last place I saw him was right back here. Ryota motions to the alleyway behind him. He went down that way. I tried to follow, but I couldn't find him. He was completely gone. If Ryota is bluffing, he's an incredible liar. A sadness comes over him when he looks back toward the alley. KK looks back and forth from the kid, then to the alleyway behind him. All alleys are dark, though this one looks like it's never seen daylight. Seen any fog when that happened? The moment he disappeared? Now that you mention it, Jesus, now that you mention it, there's been something spooky around, like a kind of fog or darkness, but it came and then it went. Alright. KK mutters something to himself as he eyeballs the alleyway behind Ryota. Nothing looks immediately out of place. With so much going down in the city, some kid getting lost doesn't exactly seem like the front page news. So we dropped the kindness act, so let's call his bluff. I can't be the first adult you've asked for help. Fess up. Why has everyone else ignored you? I don't know why. I just don't think everyone else cares about like I do. From the sounds of things, had some issues. Sure he didn't run away? The pressure begins to build on Ryota, and it shows. His eyes become glassy as he tries to hold his emotions in, but he can't. No one believes me. No one will help. He'll never survive without me. I'm his best friend. Not even you will believe me, and you will believe in anything. Well, I don't believe in just anything. I'm sorry, adults never believe in monsters. Ryota turns from KK and begins to run. Just as he watches Ryota go, KK's phone begins to ring. KK lets out a long, deep sigh as he looks at the caller ID. Of course. Perfect timing. How's it going? Not great. My interrogations may have been too much. He went elsewhere. So you leaned on him. He got scared and he ran away? That about sums it up, yeah. Jerk, you should know as well as anyone that it's like what it's like to be young and scared, to need help from a grown-up you can trust. Just didn't want to get yanked around. Don't have the time. God forbid you spend 5 seconds helping a kid that might be onto something, I think. Damn. Okay. I could fix it. I will fix it. Ryota, come back. It's not safe here by yourself. I'll help you. As Ryota turns to look back at KK, oh no. Something comes over the detective and he softens. I believe you, okay? Promise. I need more to go on, kid. Why are you so convinced he was taken? Didn't happen to anyone else around here. But it did happen to my best friend. He's been missing for 2 full days. Everyone else has been looking, but no one can find him. What about his parents? Have they filed a police report? I'm the only one who really cares about him. I know he needs me. And no one else is even looking for him anymore. Just me. He's lucky to have you. It's like when you saw crows circling above the building in one of the cases you investigated. You knew there was more to it than everyone else. Well, Mr. KK, I know there's more to the disappearance. I just need your help. Really did your homework, huh? I'm impressed. You're more dedicated than most adults I know. You remind me of my friend Erica. She lost someone too. And she'll never stop fighting for them either. KK takes another glance at the alley. Alright, show me exactly where this pal of yours disappeared. Ryota perks up. So you're gonna look into it? I'm here, aren't I? Let me check in with my team to see if they figured anything out. Could save us some time. KK reaches for his phone. What's up? We're all here. I just need a quick word with one of you to follow up with what the kid has told me. Yeah, let's go with him. Did you find anything in those files of yours while I was talking to this kid? Unfortunately, I have done a limited amount of my own research in this legend before being pulled away by other tasks. That said, I've been quite eager to continue it. Ed, spit it out. What do you know? Well, I love how I gave him like a wish Batman voice. Of course, it's still just a theory. Now he's speaking. Ed queued up another file on his audio recorder. He lets it do the talking from here out. While installing some ethereal energy monitoring hardware that I've decided to place throughout the city, I've been aware of micro pulses within Tokyo's electrical grid that are only recognizable within distant frequencies. It is my belief that these frequencies are tied to the spiritual resonance, a byproduct of vanishing experiments. My intention is to continue monitoring these pulses via the mobile lab, with the hopes of ultimately detecting a source location. So far, signs point to the district, but I've been unable to produce more specific results. It's as if the source is continually moving, relocating, perhaps to avoid the exact type of precision dedication that I seek to achieve. A moving target, eh? Hell, if you're trying to move quickly through the city undetected, you could do worse than the sewers. Well, Ed, time to test this theory of yours. Ryota, it's time to find. Alright, let's find him. Nothing looks out of place, but they are rarely what they seem. KK slowly but deliberately reaches his hand out. He's not holding onto anything, but you would think that he is by the way he's moving, like he's got something invisible dangling from his fingertips. Ryota has no clue what he's trying to do, but he watches closely. However, what happens next can only be seen in KK's eyes. As KK opens his fingers, a sparkling orb of energy drops from his hand down onto the ground. It ripples like water in a still pond, energy flowing outward uh, into the world. A strange trail floats into view as though a spirit has passed through this place. Psychic energy. The trails lead further on, deeper into the alley, and out of view. Guess he went that way. Puzzled, Ryota follows KK's eye line down the alley, but sees nothing out of the ordinary. What happened? I don't see anything. Trust me, kid. It's good you can't see it. This is the power you don't want. As you're too young for it. To take a risk like that and change your life forever. The world's a scary place. It keeps getting worse. We're gonna find your friend and get you back to life. KK and Rinko are in big trouble this time, running like rats, desperate to stay alive, with only a dingy old sofa between them. Monsters! We'd better find another exit. Rinko turns to KK and sees him holding his head. He appears to be in great pain. Damn, it's happening again. Your body's reacting to the ether? Oh, Jesus Christ. As KK looks at the room, his vision begins to break in half. He tries to focus, but rather reform, everything continues to split apart even further. Another hallucination? The world is breaking in two. That'd be crystallized ether, another form of matter. Sounds like your body has entered the final stages of affinity. From thin air, oh, there we go. From thin air like phantoms, these horrific visitors appear surrounding KK and Rinko. Damn, we're surrounded. Oh, is the prelude gonna show anything? Mr. KK? Are you okay? Huh? Sorry, kid. My mind can be a little hard to control. You just kind of stood there for a little while. Sometimes my memories take me places. Hate to leave you alone again, but you need to wait here while I look for your pal. Sit tight, I won't be long. A report on Rinko's computer sets up flashes on screen. Its monitoring software has a hold of something big. The results are clear, spiritual residue, and it's exactly at KK's location. What's it now? We just received an alert that a massive surge of spiritual energy at your location. Hold off on pursuing until we're able to send support. Can't wait forever for you guys. We might have a missing child on our head. We got plenty of evidence. I know what I'm getting myself into. Relax. Ed's research has already prepared me. I'm ready. I appreciate the vote of confidence on behalf of my work, but that research was actually quite limited. It was more of a brief overview. In fact, I wouldn't call it actionable intelligence, so to speak. It was a very informative overview. I doubt I could be any more ready than I am right now. It's not fair to ask us to help when you think you need us. Then use our own words against us. Okay, there we go. Then use our own words against us when you're too impatient to act as a team. We're in this together. KK decides to address one team member specifically to make his case. Let's go with the youngin'. What Eric and I have been through, I don't expect anyone else to understand. Hell, I barely understand it. Here's what I do understand. It takes risks so others don't have to. And yeah, you all do the same thing. That's why I'm proud to call you my team. But it has to stop somewhere. A line needs to be drawn in Gotham. We aren't the vulnerable ones who need your protection. We're all strong, and that strength uh, multiplies when we work together to help others. You two are so special to me, both of you, and I think I understand where you're both coming from. It's just that this torment. Once the power has gotten inside of you, the affinity, it won't let you rest. It's like being chased. We are running from something awful. I'm sorry that I'm not making sense. I just can't be quite quiet right now. I have to speak my truth. I have to support whether decisions he makes. The truly selfish act would be to stand still and let it overtake you. In the end, I know that I would do the same thing. Let's hope you never have to. I'll talk to you later. I'm in the middle of an investigation. He never was any good at following people's directions. The attitude his precise is precisely what saved our hides on countless occasions. You don't think I realize that? Erica smiles, thinking about KK's attitude. It doesn't bother her. And that's why I picked her, because I know she wouldn't be fazed by anything. Oh shit. Damn, they're everywhere. KK's eyes dart between the two horrific figures and to some incredibly strange glowing crystals that hover nearby. As he tries to speak, KK wheezes painfully. Rico, what would happen if someone tried to touch one of these ether crystals? Your guess is as good as mine. Might give you the power to fight back. Might just make you even more miserable. Who can say? What about him? Did it grant him strength? Rinko nods silently. After getting his answer, KK, without hesitation, stretches his hand out toward the crystals. Wait, stop! Stopping is not an option. Not for any of us. You don't know what will happen. It could kill you. And those things won't? We're dead if we don't try something. We aren't out of options yet. You've thrown away everything to fight these monsters. Same as me. There's not a goddamn thing left to lose at this point. Before Rinko can say anything else, KK reaches all the way out. Oh. Pretty. Oh, is that the kid? KK follows a trail of psychic energy deeper into the dark alleyway, away from the glow of familiar streetlights and vending machines. His venture into the unseen brings him to a manhole cover where the spirit's residue flashes with an eerie intensity. This spot is clearly the origin point of whatever spirit is at the center of this mystery. Did they take you this way? KK looks around again, and finding nothing, focuses his attention on the haunted manhole. The spectral vision shows KK a lot more than he thought it might, revealing a ghostly specter hovering in the dark and dreary place, the spirit of a man in his 30s. According to Japanese lore, this type of spirit is trapped in a physical location. Okay, Spectre. What's keeping you tied down here? The Spectre seemed unable to answer him. Instead, he mutters, as if distracted or perhaps completely delirious. Either or, maybe both. Spectres aren't especially concerned with politeness or clarity. Neither of us is going anywhere until I get some answers. I need to know. What are you doing here, specifically, at this manhole cover? Why haunt this place? I thought it was a kid. Just a kid playing around. Just having fun. Alone. I wanted to make sure he was safe. So just being neighborly, yeah? Yes. No? Not making friend. Protecting. But he wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't a kid though, was it? There was something else. Something lurking in these shadows. Did I die? I think I died. But this isn't what I expected. What was it? Monster? A monster? The specter points downward. Underneath, eh? KK stares at the manhole, as though if he just looks hard enough, he'll suddenly see what lurks in the darkness beneath its cover. He doesn't have to see the specter's nod to know he's right. It went that way. Before he can pull up the manhole cover and sees for himself, a long shadow creeps in from the edge of the alleyway. Did you find anything? Snooping around is detective business. You don't belong back here. I thought I heard you talking to someone. Who is this youngster? Only I can hear you, so don't bother. Only you can hear me? Well, sure, nobody else is even here. This is turning into a damn clown show, kid. I need you to stay here while I go down. It's not safe for you there. Not safe? Not safe? Monster? But how do you know I'll be safe up here? My team's one call away. I'll get here quickly if you're in danger. Weren't you just saying something about being in the middle of an investigation and too busy to talk to anyone? Funny you should mention that. I could actually use some help. I believe they call it client services. Who are you calling mister? Are they nice like you, or nicer? Client services? Sounds more like a babysitting to me. If only you would just wait for us to get there. We play the hand we're dealt, and juggling work and childcare has never been my strong suit. I need a little support. Rinko sighs, a long, tired sigh of frustration. Of a frustrated person who knows that in the end, of course, they'll help. She always helps him, just as he will always help her. Now I have the perfect candidate in mind. Rinko, of course. You, Rinko. There's nobody I trust more. The way you've looked after Erica, you've got a way with young people. I just don't. Talk some sense into the kid. Make him give me the space I need to get this job done. Put him on. Rinko holds KK's phone to his ear, happy to make another new friend. Yes, Miss Ghost Hunter? No, Ryota. This is Rinko. I'm the one who first read your messages about your friend. We're going to find him. You just have to trust us and listen to us. We also need your help. Will you help us? We need new deputy of our paranormal investigation force. A deputy? Like a real deputy? Perfect. Now you're our official task force lookout. It's a tough job. Not anyone can do it, but I believe in you. I'm sending an alert to your smartphone right now. Every 5 minutes, send me a message and tell me what you see, even if it's just normal stuff. I will do my best. But you need to stay right where you are. If you go anywhere, that wouldn't be good task force lookout work. In that case, I would be forced to demote you to a lower position, and you have no idea what kind of paperwork that would create. You can count on me. KK watches as Ryota smiles and hands the phone back to him. Then the kid puts on a tough deputy face and begins to survey the entrance to the alley. We good? He's on lookout duty. That should keep him busy for a while. But you'd better proceed with caution. We are on our way. You're the best. Tell me something I don't already know. Now to get down there and find your pal. Dirty water splashes under KK's feet as he makes his way through the still darkness of the sewers. The further he goes, the darker it gets, but not because of any change in light. No, this darkness is unnatural. In fact, it's not darkness at all. It's tangible. Dense fog made of spiritual energy fills the air. Toxic paranormal waste coats the ground and plugs the drains. Oh, Jesus Christ. But the air itself is rejecting him. This corruption flows between worlds and reaches around him, blocking KK's way. See, I like the artwork, man. How long has it been building up right below our feet? It's like this everywhere? As KK goes deeper, it only increases. There's definitely something here. And if there's this much corruption swirling around, nothing I can handle, though. Alone in the darkness, KK summons his powers and... Hold X and trace the shape to clear the sewer. Oh, there we go. Shit. There we go. So, this is terrible. There we go. At least it worked. Cleanses the corruption, returning the sewer to its normal state. That's normal? That's better. Minus a stink. With it now cleared, as if they were waiting for the moment of safety, someone appears. Oh, shit. Look at it. Is that you? The small boy avoids KK's look, turning his back and picking at something on the wet ground. Splish splash. Splish splash. Hey, you kid. You okay? Can you hear me? Are you hiding from something? Take a bath. Take a bath. Come on, kid. This isn't the time or place. Answer me. I'm not trying to scare you, but you gotta work with me here. In the vast darkness of the sewer, the sound of KK's phone suddenly rings out, the tiny chime echoing back and forth around the hollow space. The small boy in the raincoat doesn't seem to notice. He must be very preoccupied. I'm close. I found him, but I'm worried he won't. Down so far, the signal to KK's phone is barely holding on. He can only make out a few sounds, and struggles to make out what word they might be forming. Hello? Is anybody there? Rinko? Is that you? Ed? Erica? Who is this? Obviously it's her. Rinko, can you hear me? Are you with Ryota? Can you ask him? Was he wearing a yellow raincoat? The scratchy connection makes it almost impossible to understand. What about him? Rinko can't understand. Rinko, I can't understand. It's not what? Oh, shit. Oh, that's not good. The call cuts out. The phone's going dead in KK's hand. Damn. Enough screwing around. Just like that, finally, as if called by his mother to come to dinner, the child responds. He stands up and turns to KK with his eye. It was, oh god, no. You're not him. You're the monster. KK raises his hand and calls forth an energy that he discovered the day long ago. The day he found his back against the wall, reaching out and touching the ether crystals. Ever heard of ether weaving, monster? Energy surges into KK's hand, green light winding and glowing, charging around his fingertips. The increasingly bright light glows, illuminating the tunnel. And in that moment, standing in the center of the tunnel, we can see the monster, this raincoat visitor, just in time for it to press a child's whistle to its mouth. Oh, Jesus. As the At a stranger's fingertip lies KK, now a prisoner. I need my subject to remain calm, or else nothing will get done. Despite being captive, KK flashes the stranger a fierce glare. You son of a bitch. Hello, my new friend. I am keen to see how useful your vessel turns out to be. The stranger takes something out and holds it in his hand. An amulet, though clearly not simply for decoration. It surges with power. He looks from the amulet and back to KK and smiles. As a monstrous little raincoat visitor blows his whistle, he steps back into the shadowy darkness. Running away, huh? But he's not running away at all. In fact, he's only making space. Oh, Jesus. For two much larger, far more horrifying visitors to show up and challenge KK. I've been waiting to turn into you again. To run into you again. Let's go, you bastards. Okay, so what are we gonna do? Okay, so summon a shield to protect you from one visitor attack. Summon a shield, damage a single visitor with a wind attack. Visitors a talisman that stops visitor moving. Let's do that one. One umbrella visitor was injured. An umbrella visitor attacks. Boom, bitch. The umbrella visitor are frozen in place. Only one stun talisman is left. Okay. So let's stun him as well. And now let's damage him. You're done. You're done. Perfect. Done, bitch. You're done. The fight is now over. The sewer is oddly calm again. KK sweeps the space, looking for any clues that may be left behind. Why would a pack of monsters manifest? They're evil. But then he sees it, affixed to one of the tunnels. A wooden tag, sometimes called a kifuda. It's mostly what summoned these things. KK reaches out to take the kifuda down, but as his fingertips approach it, Rinko. God damn it, Rinko. Erica. KK feels a big, quick thump behind his body. No! When he looks down, he sees someone else's arm stabbing through his chest. It's horrifying. Black smoke rushes out of his body. Looking back up, KK sees a man wearing a Henya mask. You're... As KK comes to, he realizes that he is in the tunnel once again. No. Still. He looks at his chest. It's totally fine. No gaping hole. Not even a scratch. Sweating, breathing heavy, his mind races. It is a horrible dream. Maybe a vision? He grips the kifuda in his hand. It won't let him get away with it. I won't let him get away with this. So hard that it smashes into pieces. At that moment, KK realized he's not actually alone. Distracted by his fury, he had missed the approach of someone new. Who's there? Surprised, he spins to face this entity, but before he can raise his other hand... What? Oh, okay, we're back at the alley. KK emerges from the tunnel to find Ryota waiting with the rest of the team. You fool! You ran into a wall of... yeah. And your instinct is to walk deeper into it when you know we're on our way to help? Listen, No, you listen. I'm not done yelling at your stupid ass for making me worry about you. Okay, bud. All of our instruments at HQ started going wild. We broke basically every traffic law in Tokyo twice to get here as quick as possible. And then we find an open sewer entrance, little Ryota peering down into this dirty tunnel, clearly considering climbing down there despite our best efforts to cover for you and keep him busy. Sure, accept. So we take a look for ourselves. It's corruption in all directions. The whole place absolutely soaking in spiritual residue. It's like they're missing an army beneath our feet, and you go sniffing around alone? It's not. Maybe let her finish? Worst of all, you arrive stinking but unscathed, having been gone just long enough to have me convinced that you were really hurt down there, that I would never see you alive again. The problem with disappearing into a dangerous sewer all alone is that the longer you're gone after Rinko has asked you to be cautious, the more time she has to consider the things she'll shout at you when you return. Rinko, calm down. Things we've been through together. When you're in danger, it's as if I can feel it, deep down, but there's nothing I can do. What if you had died? The thought of being haunted by you, of all people, I almost climbed down there to kill you myself. I'm sorry. I should have waited. Don't you dare be nice to me right now. I need to calm down. I value your friendship and support. I didn't hear that. Safely above ground, reunited with his team, KK turns his attention to the original source of all the drama, his young client. You were never going to tell me, were you? Oh, he's a puppy! He's my dog and my best friend. Damn. Okay, calm down. He just wants to be pet. Jeez. Who'd have thought that such a tough-as-nails former detective would have such strong phobia around dogs? Don't have to broadcast it, alright? Don't be scared. He loves everyone. He's just so cute. Maybe you should draw the line. And moving monsters and following them in his way. So he hugs his dog and gets a face full of licks in response. KK realizes slightly, seeing how harmless this little dog is, but still keeps some distance. Thank you so much for bringing him home safely, Mr. KK. Mr. KK? What an adorable alias. When exactly did you start going by this new short nickname KK? I suppose it has a fun ring to it, not quite so formal as your full name is. Before we get sidetracked, as lead investigator on this one, you've got some paperwork to do, KK. Not sure what's worse, fighting monsters or filling out all these damn forms. It's obvious that you prefer fighting to paperwork. KK scribbles out a few quick lines. Only Ed can read them. Hey kid, this is for you. Oh, is it a prize for helping you find the ghosts? Almost. It's a bill. Ryota's face sinks when he's left holding the check. Lucky for you, today's work is pro bono. That means free. Consider this your receipt. I'm feeling generous right now. He looks closely at the paperwork in his hand and says, the case of the cursed manhole. Aw. Leaning in over his shoulders, Rinko lets out an uncharacteristically loud burst of laughter. Oh, now I get it. You didn't choose the nickname KK. Sloppy paperwork chose it for you. There's a lot in this life that we don't get to choose. Call me what you like. It's not like I've got any use for the real name anyway. And definitely not any of my old names. It doesn't matter what anyone calls me, as long as I find this bastard. KK's gaze looks fierce, although recalling a bitter past. Reflected in his eyes is Ryota, who looks pleased to have received KK's autograph. KK's expression softens up in response. That said, I guess KK's not so bad. Okay, I liked it. I mean, I'll be picking it up anyway. But, yeah, I mean, from what we just did, it looked fun. So, yeah, so, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this. I know I did. It was fun. I'll work on the voice. If you guys have voices you want me to try for these characters, let me know. For him, I'm just going to go with a knockoff Wish Batman. But yeah, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, links are in the description below. Like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, join the Black Redhead Gaming Facebook group, check out my TikTok, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. Peace.